All right, episode 5, lighting. So lighting is an important thing, you know. I love lights. I mean, anybody that knows me knows I'm very obsessed with lighting, how it looks. I think it adds an ambiance and a feel that people don't think about. There's a whole art and design aspect of lighting that it just totally adds to a space that you might not notice or really think about, but it's just there. And whether you know it or not, it is adding to your feeling when you walk in. And what the space looks like, how bright it is. So this was a big thing, and planning this was a big thing. And you know, again, we don't have an unlimited budget. So figuring out how to do this for an affordable price and still do a very cool design was tough. It took a lot of research, getting quotes, looking online, looking at different pictures online for inspiration. And I found this one picture that just had these super clean rows of light, but they were like intersecting over each other and just had this cool pattern, and it was very neat. It was a little too busy for me, but I love just the clean, straight, long lines of light. And that's what my mind ended up getting set on for the main area, at least, is I just wanted these clean, straight lines of light. But I didn't want them to be traditionally straight, like just, you know, running with the building or anything like that. So I started playing around on the computer a little bit, trying to figure out how to do it, how to make it look neat, keep it clean, and just make it overall like cool, I guess you could say. So luckily I was able to find these lights on Amazon that were these strip lights. I think they're like 6 foot or 5 foot strips, and then you just keep connecting them together, and you can hook like 10 of them together or something like that and just create these long rows of light. So then it was a matter of how did we want those rows to look to fill up the space properly, to properly light the space. And that was a challenge. You got to figure out the spacing between these rows, and you don't want it to be too dark, you don't want it to be too light. You know, you don't want to waste money by keeping them super tight and have a whole bunch of them, and then you're just wasting money because you didn't need all those lights. So figuring all that out, figuring out the spacing, it was just an interesting process that I never really had to deal with. But by the end of it, we created this super cool design of diagonal lines that on one end all end at the exact same point, but on the other, I spaced them so they end kind of alternating lengths. And it just made for this really cool pattern that then separates at the end of the main workspace and goes into the lobby area and then continues again with the same type of pattern. And it worked out super well. I was super happy with them. I was a little bit worried about the quality of the light because they were a little bit cheaper. But after the electrician got them hooked up, which Senergy hooked up, they did all the electric and hung the lights, and the guy doing it did a fantastic job on hanging these lights. I'm super anal about stuff, how stuff looks, and they are all perfectly even, perfectly straight. He had lasers shooting all over this place trying to line them up, and they look super neat. And by the time we got done, got them hooked up, it was a little bit sketchy because they all have remotes, so it's like, are these all gonna work, or how are we gonna connect these so they all work right? We ended up getting them programmed very cool to where there's 3 separate sections. They can all be controlled separately. But not only that, you can control the temperature of the light. So you could control, you know, are they super vivid white, or are they more of like a daylight white, or are they more yellowish? And although we don't change it a lot, it's just kind of cool that you can do it. And then not only that, but you can control the brightness. So if you just want it a little dimmer or a little brighter, it's just nice having that option. So overall, I think I am super happy with how the lighting turned out. Senergy did a great job on hanging them, perfectly spaced, perfectly level. It just turned out very neat. I can't say enough about it. We get a ton of compliments on it. And you know, you normally wouldn't think you get a compliment on your lighting, but again, when you think it through and actually put some thought into the design of the lighting, it is another aspect, you know, it's another way to make it creative, to inspire and invoke a feeling in people when they come in to the space.